Stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet, stone vet. The stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet, the stone vet.
STONED VET USMC. Happy Friday, guys. I'm glad you're here with me, able to enjoy this time together with me, regardless if you're listening to me on the way to work or while you at work or when you're getting off work, man. I'm here and I'm glad that you guys are here to enjoy my time and my company and my annoying ass voice and my stupidity that I spit whenever I talk to you guys on this microphone. It's Friday. The weekend's coming to an end for those of us that work Monday through Friday. A lot of you guys that watch the show that I promote are venturepreneurs, so you guys never take a day off. You guys are always pushing. It's part of the grind, man. It is what it is, you know. If you're in the nonprofit world, you guys know exactly what I'm talking about as well. You're always running events on the weekends and trying to raise funds for whatever your cause is and whatever your mission is, man. I'm super excited to be here and to be able to just sit behind the microphone. It's like I tell you guys, when I do these interviews and stuff, it's my therapy session. I ain't got to pay a counselor $100 an hour to tell me that I'm screwed up. I know I'm screwed up. I can tell you guys, I spent 9 years in the Marine Corps, did 2 tours of the desert, and I've been blessed to be married to the same woman for the past 21 years. She's been with me since I was a little kid, and she still tolerates my stupidity and my nonsense. And I'm truly blessed to have her here with me because she's the only one that knows me better than I know myself. She tells me if I'm right. She tells me if I'm wrong. She says, you can't do that. And there's a reason why I can't do it, because she already knows what has happened before in the past. And that's what's great. You know what I'm saying? Because I keep doing the same stupid shit. I still keep running to that damn wall until I can get through it. You know, I'm glad you guys are here with me, man. Like I said, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you know every time these episodes come out, man. Right now, I've been truly blessed to be able to give you a Wednesday episode with Veteran Trash Talk, a Thursday live episode with Veteran Radio Syndicate. And then now you get me on Friday. So you're getting me 3 out of 5 days a week, man. So hopefully I'm able to help you along your journey throughout the week, because guess what? Life sucks. Life's hard, you know, but it is what you make of it. You know, it can only suck so much because it's on you to make it better. It really is. You know, I want to give a huge shout out to my sponsor, Rafa 180. Rafa180.com provides you the best medicinal grade CBD on the market. For a lot of you guys that are federal employees, work for the police station, firefighters, or you get drug tested on a regular basis, like me. I get drug tested every 2 weeks right now because I self-identified and told the government that I use THC to treat the ailments that they gave me for deploying me to the sandbox twice and leaving my sons and my wife here by themselves. You know, I take it to help with my anxiety, my depression, my PTSD, and all kinds of different ailments. It's helping my GERD. If you guys have GERD, I guarantee 90% of you veterans have GERD. You know what I'm saying? That's one of the big ailments that we have. But if you're looking for medicinal grade CBD, like I tell you guys, go check out Rafa180.com. Rafa180.com will provide you the best medicinal grade CBD. And when you go to checkout, when you check out the STONED VET USMC, get 15% off your entire purchase. There's a big update coming to the website. Like I said, I say this probably every episode. And you guys are like, it ain't never coming an update. It's coming, man. We got 7 kids. We got all kinds of shit. We're trying to build another house right now. We got 7 kids. There's so many different things. And she homeschools all of them. And if you guys don't know how school goes, man, I'll tell you what, it's a job in and of itself. So I'm super excited that you guys are here with me to enjoy this day. Look, dude, I'm super excited. You know what I'm saying? I said, yeah, I bring on a lot of veterans onto my show. You guys have caught me. I mean, I'm over 100 episodes now. I'm heard in over 8 different countries right now. I'm super excited for you guys that are across the pond listening to me, hanging out with me or whatever. You guys are understanding what the Stone Vet's about now. You guys are starting to get a better understanding of why I do what I do, right? I do what I do is to help educate you guys to natural remedies, to getting you off the pharmaceuticals that the VA continues prescribing us on a daily basis, dude. You guys know it. I got Dawn here. Dawn is not a veteran. She has family members who are veterans, but she is a massive cannabis advocate. This is one of the things I tell you guys. If you live in a state or a country or wherever the hell you are listening to my show, are you advocating? Do you have cannabis legalized in your state, regardless if it's medicinal or recreational? Is it legalized in your state yet? If not, guess what? It's your fault. Absolutely. Right? Don can agree with me. Don can agree with me. It's your fault as the veteran. It's your fault as the free American here. It's your fault regardless of what country you're in. that you don't have cannabis in your country yet or in your state. Because we know, us as veterans, like I said, I'm a huge advocate for cannabis because I understand the medicinal benefits that it provides me, that it has helped me with on a regular basis. I said it's bad when my own children have been like, Dad, when are you going to be able to smoke it? Because there's a lot of shit that I deal with.
Sorry.
You know, no, you're good. There's a lot of things that I deal with on a daily basis, dude. We all deal with different ailments, man. I got Dawn here. She has a hell of a story. She's an advocate. And that's what I do with my show, is try to help people bring advocates to wherever they live, wherever they're at. I've got people like David Bass out of Texas. He's a huge advocate. He took a tiny step, and now the teacup is legal there. It's a small step, but it's a step. Now the bear knows he's there, right? And that's one thing that me and Don was talking about. Don and here, we was talking about it. How you doing, Don? How you doing on this Friday?
You know, I'm doing fabulous. It's Friday. I'm having a feel good day, and I'm so happy to be here. Thank you so much for having me. I much respect your show and everything that you're doing for vets and for the plant.
Absolutely, absolutely. And like I tell you guys, Dawn, she's not a veteran, but she's a huge advocate for medicinal cannabis. She's had a hell of a life. Like I tell you guys, life sucks. Life's hard. Life can throw some curveballs at you, and you'd be like, what the hell do I do now? You know, what do I do now? But that's what I tell you guys. This is why I'm so blessed to have my show, because like I said, I've met a lot of veterans. I've met a lot of people doing my show, which has grown my community tremendously, because in this life, it's about network. It's about who you know in this life, honestly. You know, a lot of people believe, oh, it's what you know. It's what you know. What you know helps. But the people that you know of what you know is what helps even more. It's that network, right? Don, why don't you tell us a little bit about your story? Tell us a little bit about your background and why you became an advocate.
Well, you know, 2008 is when medical started in the state of Michigan. And then 2018 was when our recs started. And I started growing with my ex-husband, you know, as a teenager in farmers' fields. I knew then that it made me feel better. I had anxiety. And so, you know, teenager, you're smoking, whatever. And,
Right.
you know, so I saw it then. I had a brother that was autistic, and many people in my family, they had cancer. And I clearly remember doing papers on all three of these topics. And now, you know, cannabis is used for cancer treatment and symptoms, and it's also used in the treatment of autism. So,
Right.
you know, it's really come 360. And the reason why I really got into it is because I was a migraine sufferer, and I was recommended by a doctor in Lansing, Michigan, to get my medical card that women were having good luck pre-medicating to prevent these migraines. And within 3 months, I actually went from passing out, vomiting, you know, sweating profusely, having my aunt come take care of me, who's a nurse, to not being sick. The first month, I got a little nauseous. Second month, I got some sweats. Third month, no more migraines. And right there, I was like, man, I've been suffering for years, missing so many family functions and events. So that got me started. And I lost my grandmother and my great-grandmother, who both had breast cancer. And like you said, I have vets in my family. My Uncle Donald was in the Marines. And as you implied, he did not take the oil I had sent him because he was fearful that he would not get treatment for his cancer from the VA. And luckily, we made a lot of strides that way.
Absolutely. And that's one thing you talked about when we were talking earlier. Like I tell you guys, when I do these shows, I like to talk to my guests before I bring them on the microphone, because if not, we'll spend an hour just talking before we even record the show. And then we're like, oh shit, now there's another hour that we got to actually record the show now. And so that's why I like to talk to my guests before. And that's one of the things you were saying, like your uncle, he's another jarhead like myself. You know how stubborn we could be and how we're always right? You know? And so, like you said, it was what, 2014? Is that right? Yeah,
it was around there. Yep. 2014 is when I had my cancer, and I know he was around that same time. And you know.
And he said, no, I don't want to take it because of the fear that the VA will take our medicinal benefits from us, right? Our disability from us, right? And you guys that are veterans, you guys have an understanding. I know for a while now, it's 2021 now. We have fought and we have won. To let you guys know, our veteran community is massive. It's huge. And this is why I'm an advocate. And this is why we do what we do. This is why we fight to free the medicine, right? To free our medicine that we know works for us and that treats us and that helps us. And back in 2014, there wasn't a big push. There was a big, that stigma was still massive back in 2014, because granted, there were more states legalizing medicinal or recreational, but the big push has come now that people like Rico and his crew over at Veteran Action Council, Brian Buckley out in Helmand Valley Grow Company, and there's a bunch of other veteran nonprofits out there, veteran organizations that are advocating for this amazing plant, right? And in 2014, the push was starting to come. People started seeing a movement. A movement was coming, right? And so now here in 2021, the VA has already came out and said, if you use cannabis, just let your physician know, so the physician can get you off the opioids. That's the biggest thing right now, and they will not take away your disability for using cannabis, because they already understand there's a big push. There's a massive push coming in our country right now for the legalization of cannabis. And this is what me and Don were talking about. If you're in the state, it's up to the governor to legalize it. It's the attorney general and the governor, all them guys, their little Congress within your state. It's up to them to decide, not your senators, not your state representatives. It's your governor and his little posse, his little entourage that he has working with him to make it legal in your state, And for Dawn, like I said, she's got a hell of a story as to why she's a huge advocate for cannabis. Like she's saying, you guys, you veterans, you guys, I guarantee 85% of you guys suffer from migraines, horrible migraines, to where you're turning out all the lights and you're laying in bed Dawn, you'll spend a whole day in bed trying to get rid of a migraine, right?
3 to 4 days or more.
See?
And what I did is I started out, just so people that are out there that suffer from migraines, a lot of people will say, oh, just smoke. That didn't work for me. Mm-hmm. Pre-medication with cannabinoids. If you have regular migraines or you have things that trigger you off, be sure to try to keep a schedule. Mark on your calendar when you get them so you can see if they're regular. And if they are, 2 to 3 days before you have those migraines or you start getting symptoms, whatever symptoms you get, eat an edible before you go to bed. It doesn't even have to be a big one. I was making my own with cheesy old, I don't know what I'm doing, cannabis butter, and it worked. So that tells me, that made me proud, because I didn't have to go to some dispensary and get some large milligram edible to get rid of my migraines. It was probably 25 milligrams or less per cookie, or banana bread, zucchini bread. I'm not a real sweet person because I am a cancer survivor. So pre-medication, nights before that, it actually just eliminated it. And it can give you your quality of life back. So, don't knock it till you try it. Maybe try some edibles pre-medication, or a tincture, maybe even a tea days before, or if you feel it coming on, and maybe you can knock it down a bit so you have less symptoms.
Absolutely.
When I was diagnosed with cancer, I had 4 different types of breast cancer diagnosed bilaterally, which is kind of nuts in itself. I was already helping cancer patients, luckily, after knowing what it did with my migraines, cannabis. And so I had a really good idea, and I was working with the OGs of medical marijuana in the state of Michigan. So I felt like, Michael Jordan of cannabis, as far as my meds went, because I was like, man, I'm so blessed. I luckily, speaking of caregivers, I had more than the whole dose of cancer treatment donated to me when I found out I had these cancers. And so I started out, basically like a tip of a toothpick, teeny tiny dot that you could barely even see under the tongue or on some food. And I worked my way up. You know what? And that helped me sleep.
Right.
So you build up a tolerance, as many people know. Right. And next thing you know, I'm doing a half gram. I'm doing a gram. I started doing 5 grams.
Oh, man.
5 grams. I'm 120 pounds. But we wanted to knock this cancer in the ass.
Right.
So before I even had my double mastectomy, I started with that oil immediately, as soon as I got my diagnosis. And I had weeks before I actually jumped in, treatment or anything. I didn't want to do chemo, but I had 4 types of cancer, and it really just scared the hell out of me for my daughter.
I bet. I mean, and it scares a lot of people when they get diagnosed with cancer, because that's one thing me and my wife talk about. Like I said, she's been in natural healing for the past 15 years. She's been in natural healing and focusing solely on CBD cannabidiol for the past 10 years, And one of the things is like, if you guys watch the show, it's not if you catch cancer, it's when you catch cancer, the way it's been going lately, with the foods that we eat, the things that we drink, the things that we do. It's just something that we do that triggers it and it activates it. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel as though the cancer lives in our body. It's just dormant. And there ain't nothing that, you know, and you being a cancer survivor, like you said, you got 4 different cancers. It scares the shit out of you. You know what I'm saying? And it will scare the crap out of a lot of people because like I said, I was recently in a conversation with a lady. She said that her friend's husband's 28 years old and he had like stage 4 leukemia. And he said, I ain't doing chemo or radiation. I completely stopped because you understand, you've gone through the chemo and radiation therapy. Is that correct?
No, I refused radiation.
Okay.
I almost refused chemo, but I did do chemotherapy. I did a nasty bout of 3 different chemos for a year. So, you know, quality of life, it's really important.
Right. And it really is. So you, with the chemotherapy, it wipes you out, right? Like it will wipe out your system completely. You'll feel like crap for days, if not weeks after you take your session. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I will tell you, when I first started, I was donated the oil, but I didn't have a bunch of edibles, tinctures, capsules, you know, isolates, things like that around. I knew about them. But once I started with my treatment, I lost 13 pounds in the first week after my first infusion. Taxotere, carboplatinum, and Herceptin.
And you ain't even a big person, so to lose that much weight, that's a tremendous amount.
Almost every time they were like, we don't know if you're going to do chemo next time. We got to see if your weight's up, see if you're feeling better, you know, check your blood. And I'm like, am I well enough to do chemo? Maybe I shouldn't do it at all. But, you know, that fear is there. And so I got my hands on edibles and everything else that you could think of. I was so blessed. And I'm so thankful for caregivers for blessing me that way, because I feel like they saved my life. The next round of chemotherapy, I did an edible before. I did an edible in the hospital during my infusion, and I did an edible after. I was like, if I sleep, I'm just going to be sleeping through hell after my infusions, you know?
Right.
It is great. That's when you heal. And the next time I went back, my 3rd infusion, I had gained the 13 pounds plus back.
Oh, nice.
I got off anti-nausea medicines that were, quite honestly, it felt like they were killing me. They're like, here, take this Zofran. And there's 3 different ones, Compazine, and I took them. What a mistake.
Right.
Zofran is the only one I ended up staying with. I started smoking CBD doobies in the morning before. And I tell you, it was kind of a letdown at first because the guy told me, you know what? This is great CBD cannabis, but you're not really going to feel high from it. It's, you know, it's just that high CBD. And I thought, okay, we'll see. And quite honestly, I did not feel high from it at all. So then I'd follow up with a nice THC doobie to get me relaxed for
balance
treatment.
you out, right?
Oh, but it worked. I didn't need all those anti-nausea medicines.
Right,
edible, it works so well. Oh, I'm so thankful. So to find that out and to be able to share that with other people so they don't lose the weight and feel like you feel like you're dying many times in treatment for many people. And that really, I was just saying the praises of cannabis because I felt like it gave me my life back with my kids, most importantly.
No, absolutely. Absolutely. And that's one of the things, that's the biggest thing I talk about with my show is that, am I the stone vet? Yes. Do I like to be high? Yeah, I love to be high. I love to be outside of my head. But understanding what cannabis can do, what CBD can do for your body, right? Like you said, you smoke a CBD joint and you're like, I didn't get high. It's not about getting high. It's about healing, right? It's about natural healing, about healing the body. And a lot of people, you know what I'm saying? Not too long ago, I had Matt with Innovative Extracts. He has a CBD company out of Pennsylvania. And he's like, I never started using it until I was 38 years old. Like he was still stuck on that stigma. 38 years old, still stuck on a stigma. And his buddy was like, why don't we just grow hemp and let's start making oils, right? And you're like, well, why not? Let's see what it's about, right? And now he's been educating himself. He's been educating himself for about past year now since he started the business, understanding the different makeups of cannabis and CBD itself, hemp itself. And that's what I tell you guys. Whenever you guys, like Dawn was saying, she was on all these anti-nausea medications. And when she actually started using CBD and THC, she was able to get off a lot of the nausea medications. And for you guys, this is what I'm always advocating about. You guys know, you guys have seen all my shows. Like I said, I've got over 100 episodes out there now. And you guys see that I'm always advocating, telling you guys, when you start, cannabis is not the end all be all of all medications at all. You know what I'm saying? There are some people who do need some certain pharmaceuticals. I'm not against all pharmaceuticals because there are some out there that are there to help you. You know what I'm saying? But if you start using those with cannabis and CBD, you'll actually see how much you actually really need. You know, instead of continuing to pounding them, pounding and pounding them. You know, it's like I tell people who are on high blood pressure medication, if you get on a good quality CBD product, you can actually come off your blood pressure medications. That's one of the things we advocate and tell people. Whenever people are starting CBD, and we always ask, it's one of the questions, are you on blood pressure medication? Yeah. Okay. Before you take your pill, check your blood pressure. Because if you're taking CBD and your blood pressure, it's going to make you bottom out. The CBD is not going to make you bottom out. Your pill is going to make you bottom out. You know what I'm saying? CBD, it doesn't lower blood pressure. It helps regulate blood pressure. That's the biggest thing we try to tell people. CBD helps regulate blood pressure. It won't drop it. It'll help regulate it and get it where it's supposed to be. But if you incorporate your pill that's supposed to bring down your blood pressure, and then you take a CBD, if your heart rate's already normal and you take a blood pressure medication, it's going to bottom you out and you're going to feel like crap. So that's why we always tell people, monitor your blood pressure before you take your CBD or before you take your pill. Because we always tell people, take the CBD daily. You have to take it daily, you know, and a lot of people who take it daily, after a while, you probably get this a lot, Don, is that when people have been taking it for 60, 90, 120 days, they start winging, they stop taking it because they're like, well, I feel good. This is as good as I'm going to get. And then within 30, 60 days, they're like, why do I feel like crap again? Well, have you been taking your CBD? No. Well, that's probably why you feel like crap again, because you stopped taking it because you got so used to the new normal that you're like, oh, I don't need this anymore. And then you're like, wait, yeah, I do. Like, I'm starting to hurt again, you know? And so it's one of those things, like I've always told you guys, journal. You got to journal. Like Don was saying, you have to journal what you're doing, because if you don't write it down, then you can't see the patterns. Is that right, Don?
Exactly. And it really helps you medically, because a lot of times you think that you're paying attention to things, but when you write it down, you know, it's right there. Oh yeah, I did have a headache that day, or I did feel better this day, or, you know, my blood pressure was this that day. You know, I take my blood pressure every day because I am a recovering blood pressure patient, I guess.
Right.
I thought it was from chemo and cancer because that's what my doctors told me. And, 210/110 for about 5 years. And I had my breast implants that were suggested after I had cancer. I had them removed because they made me so sick. And guess what? My blood pressure went back down. So now I'm on one blood pressure medication, but I take CBD every day in various forms. And I truly believe that it makes a big effect on it, because I believe that cannabis really wants your body to be balanced and homeostasis. And it just, I just think it helps with that. And so when you say keep it up, you really do need to keep it up, because it's helping balance something that's out of balance.
Right.
That's how you feel better.
Absolutely. You know what I'm saying? That's what a lot of people don't understand. Like during World War I, World War II, that during that time, the government encouraged people to grow hemp. A lot of people are understanding how massive hemp is, and what we're not just talking about medicinal benefits of hemp. Hemp has been used for various different things, from paper to rope to clothing. Oh my gosh, there's so many different things. They're now starting to build homes out of hemp. You know, there are so many medicinal benefits. And during that time, during World War II, during Vietnam and stuff like that, when hemp was big and when Congress was pushing the growing of hemp because we needed the materials for the war, a lot of the farm animals, the cows, the goats, the chickens, and all that other stuff was eating hemp. So when you went to the market and you got you a good piece of meat, chances are you had a good piece of CBD within that meat, because that's what they were eating, was hemp. Now, we don't know what the hell our freaking cows are eating, our chickens are eating, pigs are eating. We don't know what the hell they're eating anymore. There's so many stories out there. You can see them. You can see the people who are the other advocates that are for helping animals. You can see like these farms that grow chickens, that you go to the grocery store and you pick up a package of chicken wings or chicken legs or whatever you like to eat. they'll show you. A lot of them are like, well, let's go look at this place, and they'll show you how unhumane it is for a lot of these animals, you know, versus before they were free roaming. They would eat the hemp. They would be good pieces of meat. And now it's just a lot of it's bioengineered. They're eating a bunch of waste and a bunch of crap that's out there. And a lot of people are eating this stuff. And you know what I'm saying? It's like I said earlier, it's not if you catch cancer, it's when you catch cancer. What are you ingesting? What are you eating? What is it that you eat on a regular basis? What is it that you drink on a regular basis? What is it that you're doing? I mean, not all of us can be healthy. It's hard as hell to be healthy. Don't get me wrong. It's hard to eat good, drink good, and just stay on a good regimen. We all hate regimens. It's hard. It sucks. You know what I'm saying? Especially when they're inconvenient. You're just like, this just sucks. I just can't do, you know? And you, Don, I mean, being a cancer survivor, I'm sure you have very strict regimens that you had to abide by for a while, correct?
Absolutely. And I do still, we grow when we can. And one of our biggest things in our regimen is, taking off all those extra leaves on your plant. They get washed, they get put in ice water, they go right into the juicer. And my fiance, he is a mad juicer. And so he does ice tray after ice tray after ice tray. And you just, separate that pulp out. And so we have freezer full of ice trays with cubes. So we'll put 2 to 3 cubes of pure cannabis juice into our smoothie.
Oh, wow.
And that's so healing at a cellular level,
Right. No, absolutely.
That, but it's so healing. And so, that has been a huge regimen. I joke that I'm cannabis head to toe because I literally am, but you do have to stick with things, because I do find in my cancer survivor groups as well, that when people tend to have metastasis or some kind of health issue that comes up after cancer, a lot of times they're falling off that wagon. They're getting back into, hey, I'm going to go out and have a drink every weekend or whatever it is. Everybody's different, so everybody's tolerant of different things. But I find that the people that stick with a regimen usually do a little bit better. Some people can be crazy and, they fight the odds and do their thing, and that's great. But I would rather live on the side of erring in the too healthy zone.
Right. And there's a lot of things. I mean, there's a lot of people, man. I got some great people. I got another jarhead. He does he's a fitness instructor. I got a lot of people I've brought on the show, and a lot of veterans that I've known that are fitness instructors. And they're health nuts, dude. Like they're complete health nuts. I got Leah Day with Veteran Trash Talk. She's a health expert now. She's actually got certified to become a health expert. I got Chris Myers out of Florida. He's part of the 5% club, the 5% fitness club. He actually survived a lot of crap, but he's a huge cannabis advocate himself. He's like, dude, I smoke before I work out. I have to, because if not, then I'm not going to get a good workout in. And I was like, I completely agree with you, because when I was working out, so I used to work out twice a day, 5 days a week. I would smoke before I'd go into the gym, because I was able to focus and my muscles weren't sore and they weren't hurting. And like I said, the CBD is an anti-inflammatory. The cannabis helps me get outside of my head and I'm able to focus on what I need to focus on while I'm in there. And so I was able to focus and actually get my lift going. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't understand that. Everybody thinks, you're a stoner. All you're going to do is just fucking veg out and fucking watch movies. Are there days that I do that? Yeah. The same way you like to go to the fucking bar and spend $100 on alcohol and get smashed drunk and try to find your way home or to a bed. Yeah. The only difference is that when I wake up, I'm going to feel better and I'm going to light another joint. You'll wake up feeling like dog shit and you're going to be pouring another glass to try to get over that fucking hangover. You know what I'm saying? But I'm functional. I will be functional. You know what I'm saying? And the great thing about me, if I'm stoned, I can still, if an emergency arises, I can get out of it and go and attend the emergency, what's going on in the case, And so there's a lot of people that are advocates, but yet there's still veterans out there that are scared, that are still stuck on the stigma of cannabis, and you being a civilian on the civilian side, I'm sure you still see a lot of people who are still stuck on that stigma, correct? So many people that you try to donate to even, and they'll even take it and bring it back to me and say, I just can't do it. And I tell them, I understand. You've been lied to your whole life. It's the truth, different generations, you've been lied to. I'm like, I'm sorry you were lied to. And, this is the truth about cannabis. You see it.
the thing is, I've had a lot of great side effects since I've been doing so many cannabis medicinals. I was diagnosed with rheumatoid arthritis years ago. I've had many times walking with a cane. I get debilitated.
And that's crazy. And you're so young to have something like that, you know?
And you know what? I am considered inflammatory arthritis now. Years later, which is a step down from rheumatoid arthritis. And to me, I don't know a lot of people that take as much cannabis as I do. Right now I'm on a regular cancer fighting regimen again. So
it's part of your regimen though. And that's why I try to tell people. A lot of people are like, well, if you're high all day, I like to be high all day. Don't get me wrong. I love to be high. I love the feeling of being high. But I'm not so high to where like I am just fucking drooling and fucking vegged out. Like I don't want to do shit. I'm high to the point where my arthritis ain't hurt. My back doesn't hurt. My mind is right. You know? And like you said, you microdose your edibles. You microdose. You start out small and work your way up. You know what I'm saying? Like me for a while, I had smoked so much flower. Flower wasn't doing anything to me. So I'd go to dabs. I'd go to sugar. I'd go to crystals. I'd go to diamonds. After that wasn't doing anything, I graduated to RSO oil. Like you said, you started with a freaking toothpick amount. And then you moved up to a gram. Then you were up to 5. I don't know how you did 5 freaking milligrams of RSO.
I'm a freaking beast, I tell you.
You're a beast. Yeah, that's a lot of freaking RSO, you know? But you know what I'm saying? My favorite high is an edible high because it lasts a lot longer. It's not, you know, so I love to smoke weed. Don't get me wrong. Everybody loves to smoke weed because I guess it's almost nostalgic, you know what I'm saying, to smoke and be just, it's a good time. It's how people go and have beers together, have cups of wine together. That's how we come together. We light a joint and we just pass it around. Will it get us high? Maybe we'll get a little high off of it, but it's having that friendship together of being together. I think is what it is. It's us being together and enjoying something together, you know, because I think that's what's wrong with our country right now, where we're at. Is that none of us really enjoy being with each other. We're all fighting. We're at each other's necks, fighting each other, trying to say, oh, screw you, I don't believe what you believe in, or screw you, I don't believe what you believe, and so forth. You know what I'm saying? But for me, the smoke with my friends or my comrades is nostalgia because it's like we're agreeing to something. We're not arguing about anything, and we're coming together to understand, hey, we're going to have a good time together, you know? And so understanding that, and I mean, like you said, you're high all day long, but you're microdosing. You're understanding, okay, if I start with this much in the morning, this much will get me in the afternoon, and depending on how hard my day was, I may need to add a little bit more. And this is how I like to finish off my day to help me sleep, right? And all that came with time. I understand. Like I said, you're a cancer survivor. You had to start journaling. I bet you have multiple journals throughout the whole house. You probably got a journal here, there, they're all over the place, right? You're a woman. We all know women like to write. They like to put their thoughts down on paper, what's going on in life, what you're doing. For you, I understand. I bet you have journals everywhere. And you're probably still journaling to this day, talking about, okay, today was a hard day. This is what I used today to help with what I was dealing with. Is that right?
We would like to give a huge thanks to Rafa 180. Rafa 180 offers pure medicinal CBD and products made locally. They walk alongside individuals to achieve a healthy lifestyle with options needed by each person. You can learn more about them on Facebook at Rafa CBD, their website www.rafa180.com, or email at rafacbd@gmail.com. They truly believe your journey matters.
And like you said, when you're actually sharing with somebody else, you know how many healing conversations happen when people are sharing cannabis together.
Absolutely.
You know, a lot of friendships are made just by, hey, want to smoke a joint?
Right.
And
no, it's crazy. It's completely crazy. Like I said, when my wife started getting into the CBD market, she's been selling CBD. She's been a distributor for Cantech Labs now for about 5 years now. She's been selling it. But like I said, she's been studying it for 10 and been selling it for about 5 now. I think that's one of the biggest things is that people don't understand is that how cannabis brings people together. You know, with what she does, it's CBD, but it's part of the hemp. It's part of the cannabis industry, right? And the people that are out there to actually, you know, you get those hippies, you get them crazy ass hippies. We all know those crazy ass hippies that are, you know, you're like, hey, this dude's a straight up hippie, you know? But you don't understand that there's actual businessmen. You know what I'm saying? The founder of Cantech Labs, I mean, he's a good guy. He started out as a plumber. Now he owns a multi-million-dollar company selling CBD oil and CBD products and growing hemp, for a university here in Oklahoma. And he's told me, he's like, dude, I got to smoke a blunt before I go into a meeting. And he has meetings with people internationally. He just had one of the presidents, he had a former president of Mexico up here checking out his product and what he's doing. Because if you guys don't understand, I'm telling you, CBD works. It works, And a lot of people are like, well, I tried it. It never worked for me because you didn't try a right product. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like going to a pharmacy and say, let me try that. Let me have that. Let me have that. You guys go to doctors so they can prescribe it for you because a doctor is making an educated guess saying this has worked in the past. You know what I'm saying? The doctors say, a lot of people, I had an argument with a nurse, and she's one of those nurses that are profits over patients, trying to tell me there's no medicinal benefits to cannabis. I was like, I have cancer survivors who use cannabis to help with the shrinkage of their tumors and help them survive cancer. But for you to tell me that there's no medicinal benefits, you're absolutely lost. You've never done any research to actually see, And so that's one of the things that people don't understand. That's why I try to tell people, whenever you guys come over to Rafa 180 and try to use some of the products, one of the biggest things they ask, she likes to sit down with you and find out, why do you want to use CBD? What are you trying to achieve by using CBD? Are you trying to achieve pain management, migraine management, anxiety, depression, autism? What are you trying to achieve? So she knows exactly how to diagnose you and how to ensure that you get on the right product. You guys, CBD hit the market hard and fast. People were getting rich fast. They were creating oils. And I can tell you guys, not all CBD is created the same. There's a lot of dirty CBD out there processed in a dirty way in dirty labs that isn't just, that isn't a good quality oil. It's full of poison, and you're just going to poison yourself, and you're going to be like, well, CBD doesn't work. Hold on. Dawn does her own medicine. So she understands, like, there's a process in order to process CBD, in order to process THC from a plant, right? To actually extract the oils from the plant. There's a process to it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that a lot of people, when they try CBD or THC, they're like, oh, well, we'll do a tincture, or, hey, we'll have this. I didn't really feel anything. I don't think it worked at all. They're so used to pharma where they want to feel that instant kick from the chemicals, basically. You're so trained to that they're like, oh, this must not work. You gotta incorporate it into your body and get it going through your system. And it does work. We have an endocannabinoid system, and that's what it's there for.
Right.
Science.
A lot of people don't understand that. It's like, you have an endocannabinoid system. An endocannabinoid system. Cannabinoid, right? Cannabis. Cannabidiol, CBD, cannabidiol. That's what CBD stands for. You have a cannabinoid system, and CBD stands for cannabidiol, right? It's like I tell people, that's one of the things we tell people. You have an endocannabinoid system. When was the last time you refilled it? You go to the car, when your car gets low on fuel, where do you go? You go to the gas station to fill it back up, right? Your endocannabinoid system has not been filled back up. How are you filling up the gas tank again? How are you filling your endocannabinoid system again? CBD oil helps with that, and understanding the medicinal benefits. Do you want to get off the pharmaceuticals? Like I said, you guys veterans that are watching the show, vets from any country in this world, or even here in the US, how many pharmaceuticals are you on for pain management alone? And then not only pain management, now you got anxiety, now you got depression, you got PTSD, you got nightmares. I've got a medicine cabinet full. The VA continues sending them to me. My wife just cleaned out my medicine cabinet. She took out 2 massive contractor trash bags full of medication. She's like, you're never going to take this. I said, nope, never going to take it. Because, like I tell people, if you take an anti-anxiety medication, that big ass piece of paper that comes in there that's like fucking 3 feet long. If you read through it, if you get down to the portion that says side effects, the first side effect of anti-anxiety medication is anxiety. So why are you taking it? Why are you taking an anti-anxiety medication if it's going to give you anxiety? And for my wife, she, bless her heart, she's one of those people that if she tries anything new, she gets sick. A new medication will get her sick. Like this fucking COVID vaccination, she's like, I can't take it because anything that enters her body attacks it and then it makes her sick. She has a strong immune system that anything that's foreign, it will attack it and make her sick because it's going to take everything it can to attack it to get it out of the body, you know? And a lot of you guys may have family members, you guys may know friends that are like that. Dawn, I'm sure being a cancer survivor, you have a lot of people that are like that. Like if they take anything, it's going to ruin their immune system. It's just going to get them sick, gosh, awful sick, because their body's trying to fight it off, you know?
Yes, and so, you know, that's when you start the process of treating the side effects of a pill with another pill.
Right.
You know, and that's a scary situation too.
No, it really is, because you guys know here in the US, we have the amazing VA giving the veteran another opportunity to die for their country. That's the big slogan we always say, right? You guys know it. You freaking jarheads and all you veterans out there, that's one of our biggest sayings. The VA giving you another opportunity to die for your country, right? Because we understand that they're there to poison us, right? If you're on one medication for anxiety, and then they're going to say, hey, you need to take this to counteract the side effects of this medication. And you need another medication for depression, and you need this one to counteract the side effects for that medication. I was taking a medication. So at one point, I had 2 counselors, a psychologist, and 2 psychologists. So I had 4 people looking at my mental health and my well-being. They prescribed me medication. I didn't take it. I was like, I'm not taking this shit because I don't, like I said, me and natural healing and my wife, strong natural remedies and all this stuff. I was like, I'm not taking this medication, you know? And the doctor called me. He called me like 60 days later, 9 days later. He said, I need you to come to the VA. I said, for what? He said, I need to do a blood draw. I said, for what? He said, because one of the medications we put you on causes liver failure. And I got to check your liver enzymes to make sure your liver's still good. I was like, this is why I don't take this shit. Yeah, I need a fucking medication that's supposed to treat for my nightmares and my fucking anxiety and my depression, killing my liver. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Like, I said, no, you know, I went in and did the blood draw. I'm sure he did the blood draw and saw that the medication isn't in my system. And that's why he never called me again or anything. Because this is what I tell you guys have to take your health into your own hands. You have to. Nobody's going to take care of you. Nobody is here to take care of you the way you can take care of yourself. You understand what's required of you to have a good life, to live a healthy life. Dawn here, being a massive advocate for cannabis, has taken her own health into her own hands, right?
Yeah, and you know, I feel like that's when I truly got my health back. You know, I was supposed to be on so many different meds, and I just feel like I'm too much of a control freak. This is my headspace, and so again with the cannabis medicinals, you know, I have capsules and different things that help me manage. You know, especially the CBD. It's great for just helping you chill. You know, take like 6 nice deep breaths. Take some CBD. You'll find that you're in a better place. You will. Right, and nobody is your best. You know, you're your best advocate. Nobody is going to advocate for you like yourself. So, you know, you really have to step up. And like we were talking about yesterday or the day before, you know, as far as getting out there and making a difference, you know, if you're in a state that is not legal at all, no medical, then you need to make the step to go to your capital and you need to start raising a ruckus there. You need to contact your local rep as well. And then if you do have medical cannabis, well, you need to contact people and, you know, see about rec. What we need to do is just deschedule it. But, you know, we got to do baby steps.
Baby steps, absolutely.
Take it as you can. And, you know, and if you have medical, hey, go to your city council, see if you can implement something to get a provisioning center dispensary around so people have safe access in your town. There's so many different ways that you can advocate it's just crazy because your calls, your emails, they do get looked at. They do get heard. I get phone calls sometimes within 15 minutes after bugging those people, you know, and the biggest thing with vets, similar to cancer patients, you know what? They're going to listen to my phone call as a cancer patient before they listen to somebody just calling and saying, yeah, I want my pot and this is my caregiver. They're going to listen to me or a vet with full ears. They're going to be listening because those people make a big difference.
And they should, because that's one of the biggest things. Our senators, our state representatives, that's one of the biggest things is that that's one of the biggest taglines that they always have for running when they're running for office. I care about the veteran. I care about the veteran. You care about the veteran? How much do you care about the veteran? Because let's sit down and talk. You know what I'm saying? You as a cancer survivor, like you said, I'm a cancer survivor. Let me tell you why I fight for this. You right now being in Michigan, you are fighting. I guess you guys have a huge fight right now, right? For the Caregiver Act, right? Why don't you tell the people about caregivers? A lot of you guys, like I said, if you guys don't take care of your own self, your own health, do you have a caregiver that is there to help you with your health needs? And Dawn here she's a caregiver. She says she's not a professional caregiver, but she is a caregiver and advocate in the medicinal cannabis field there in Michigan. Why don't you tell us a little bit about this caregiver thing that you're fighting for in Michigan right now?
Well, right now, they're trying to hijack our medical marijuana again. And, we have rec as well, but they're really sneaky and they always insert these little bills when they think nobody's looking. And so right now they're trying to take it so a caregiver, instead of having 5 patients, can have 1 patient. 1 patient. Do you want to start killing people while you're at it? Because that's what you're literally doing by doing this. You have caregivers are cannabis angels.
Right.
And, you don't see dispensaries and provisioning centers on a regular basis donating full doses of a regimen for cancer with oil. Or, here's a bag of edibles to help with your migraines. Caregivers do this. Right. They offer the discounted meds. They offer, if they have a bunch of overages, hey, you know what? I got extra this time. Or, if you're sick, they have big hearts. So many of them give more than they really should to help people. And, like I was saying earlier, I had much more than just a cancer regimen full of oil donated to me. And it was continuously donated to me. It's still being donated to me. And it makes such a huge difference. Caregivers are the lifesavers of the cannabis community. And so for them to say, guess what? You know what? You might be the artist of your craft, but we don't really want you here. We want this corporate cannabis to come on in. And maybe you can work for us.
That's one of the things that is scary. That's one of the biggest things that is scary. I mean, because once Schumer and all his posse down in DC fight for the legalization of medicinal cannabis, we got to worry about these big markets, these multi-million-dollar companies coming into the country and doing their grows and selling it at their price. And because a lot of people that watch my show understand on my Wednesday episodes, I get pretty political because I just hate where our country's going and what's going on in our country. We elected these politicians to defend us, defend our constitutional rights. But in actuality, they're only in it for themselves. How can they get richer, right? We have the richest people in Congress right now. They want to talk, we're going to tax the rich. You're not taxing yourself. You're not going to do it. You can talk about it all day long, but you're not going to pay those taxes that you're telling people that you're going to make people pay. You know what I'm saying? You're just not going to do it. When you got people like Pelosi, you got Biden, you got Schumer, when these guys are making multi-million dollars working for the government, they're thieves. I mean, that's one of the biggest things. If you look back at our ancestors that sat in those Senate seats, that sat in Congress, they tell you nobody should be rich working in Congress. Nobody should be. I mean, granted, they make 6 figures a year. That's good money. You know what I'm saying? That's good money. You make 6 figures a year. That's good money. But when you're starting to make 7, 8 figures a year, now you're stealing. Now you're stealing money from somewhere. You're starting to do something, right? And it's sad. It sucks to say, like you're having to fight Congress in Michigan because they're taking away what you're able to provide to people who need your help. You know what I'm saying? They're saying you can only treat one person. What do you mean I can only treat one person? Like, where do you get off? Have you done this job? You know what I'm saying? And you're advocating. You're down at the Capitol and you're fighting and you're protesting like we all should be doing. Here in Oklahoma, we tried to pass recreational a year or two ago, right after we passed medicinal. and it got kicked off the ballot because there's a lot of, that red tape shit that, and I was like, we're not ready yet. I don't think we're ready yet for recreational. Right now, that's what I tell people. I said 57% of the state voted to legalize medicinal cannabis. We're in the Bible Belt. People are like, Oklahoma legalized cannabis? Yes. We're Bible Belt hippies. I give it to you. We Bible Belt hippies, and we understand natural healing and natural remedies that are out there. But 57% of the state voted to legalize medicinal cannabis. Why? Because everybody came together and had the same mission in front of them of what we needed in our state. And so what I tell you guys, if you're not at your capital protesting to legalize cannabis, you're failing yourself. You're failing your brother to your left and to your right that knows they need this medicine. Like I tell you guys, reach out to people. I have Dawn. She's part of my STONED VET group now. She's an advocate. If you're an advocate or you believe in the medicinal benefits of cannabis and CBD, come over to my group. I have a great community. People who are advocating. I got Dawn in Michigan advocating for the Caregiver Act in Michigan right now. You want to learn how to advocate? Reach out to Dawn. She can provide some insight. Hey, you'd probably try this, try this. I got David Bass, who's down in Texas. That's two different sides of our country fighting for the legalization of cannabis in their state. Like I tell you guys, reach out to them. If you want to advocate, but you don't know how, reach out to them so they can provide insight to you, so you can get an understanding of what to do and how to go about poking that bear. The governor of your state is that bear. He is the guy that will say yay or nay to legalization. Not your senators, not your state representatives, your governor, your assistant governor, and everybody else in that little posse there in your state. Those are the people that say yay or nay, this can go on the ballot, or this can't go on the ballot. Those people are the ones that are there fighting, saying yes or no. But that's your job as the advocate in your state. Because trust me, there's 36 states. 36 out of 50 states have cannabis, regardless if it's medicinal or recreational. Now, if you haven't started, because I think in Atlanta, I want to say it was legalized, but there's no dispensaries or anything around. Why? What are you guys doing? Right? Where are the advocates at? Right, Don? Where are the advocates at?
Yeah, you got to rise up and poke the bear, man.
Right.
You got to rise up. And, all those little voices you think up, I call, they probably won't even pay attention to it. I email, they probably don't even look at that. They do. Right. And I will tell you, I have gotten shit done with many other people for cannabis and other issues that I'm working on with bills. And they do listen. And I can tell you, using your voice as a vet, it goes 200% farther than somebody that's in there as, say, maybe somebody as a shop owner or somebody that's just in the medical marijuana field. Your voice, it counts for more when you're a vet, as it should. And you know what? If you call your rep and say, leave a message saying, you know what? Cannabis helps me. It means a lot to me. You don't even have to be real descriptive. I'm a vet. This is what I did. And, I expect to have a response to this and do it tactfully. That's very important because you get a better response if you're tactful. And, I've had calls back in 15 minutes from the rep's office.
Absolutely. And this is what I tell you guys. You guys have to advocate. If you guys believe in the natural remedies and the natural healing that cannabis can provide for you, advocate. You have to advocate because it's not legal yet. It's not legal yet. We're hoping this year that this will pass, the descheduling of cannabis. But still, with that being said, if you don't have it in your state, you still can't use it. Right? That's one of the biggest things. That's one of the biggest laws that is coming out. Yeah, we'll deschedule it, but if it's not in your state, then you can't use it. You know what I'm saying? And now you have to abide by the state laws. Who makes the state laws? Your governor, your state representatives. Those are the people who make the
and your
laws.
state representatives, they're the ones that are presenting the bills and writing the bills.
Mm-hmm.
So they are really important to hit because if you get in contact with them first and point something out, shit in their bill that's just not going to work and is going to be harmful for patients, especially, and you point that out, and then somebody else points it out, and somebody else points it out. Hey, you know what? Want to meet with me? I'd like to come to your office. Let's set something up. You don't get a response, you call again. Hey, you know what? I called earlier. I'd just like to sit down and tell you how important this is to me and see if we can get something going for our state. it does make a difference. Your voice.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And find people with the same mindset in your area. I guarantee you there's plenty of people with the same mindset, but it takes one person to start the dance. It takes one person to get up and stand up, right? When one person stands up, who are you going to get to stand up next to you? Because guess what? When you got 2 or 3 people standing up, it's like I tell people, when you're walking around, if one person's looking up at the sky, nobody's going to look at the sky. But when you got 2 or 3 people looking up at the sky, people are going to start walking by looking up at the sky to see what you guys are looking at, right? The same thing for your voice being heard. When you start speaking up, who do you have backing you up? Are you going to be that guy to say, I got your back? You talking, let me get up and start talking with you. And who's the next guy going to get up and start talking? Because before you know it, then you're going to have a mass movement in your state. And guess what? They'll get on your ballots and you guys will get to vote for it. And you guys have to continue pursuing it. Is it hard? Fuck yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard. But it comes. Everything baby steps at a time, right, Don? Baby steps every single time. If you can get the first baby step,
get there, man.
It's the only way you get there, right? Well, Don, we're getting close to the end of the show, man. Like I said, I knew it was going to be a great show. I knew it was going to be awesome to have you on here, you know. Like I tell guys, if you advocate, let me know. I want to bring you into my community because that's the only way we're going to win. That's the only way we're going to have a movement is when all of our voices are heard together. You know, like I said, I got Don in Michigan. I got David Bass in Texas. I got you guys all over the country, Florida, California, Arizona, New Mexico, Nebraska, freaking all over this country. When we come together and allow our voices to be heard, guess what? We start poking the bear. And the more people we have, the bigger the movement will be, you know? And this is what people don't understand. I said, how do you think Martin Luther King did it when he did the walk from Selma? He didn't do it by himself. He had a movement, right? And people still remember that movement, right? He was a great man. He was here and he did great things for our country. But what are we going to do for our country? How are we going to make a movement, make change in our country? Because it's up to us to make the changes in our country. Right, Don? Absolutely. Why don't you tell us a little bit? We're getting close to the end of the show. Why don't you tell us a little bit about what you're doing, your Facebook groups, and how people can find you and reach out to you for information on what you're doing?
Yeah, absolutely. I have my website is firstlightahealingway.com, and you can message me on there. You can also hit me up on With the Crack of Dawn on Facebook. It's just a group. And Dawn Ann, I'm on Facebook as, and I'm on Instagram, you know, whatever. But people feel free to hit me up. It's not like it's my job, but people have been contacting me for years, and you know, I feel like if you have the resources, you should help. So definitely, you know, First Light of Healing Way, hit me up. I'll be glad to help you. And I just encourage everybody to raise your voice, man, and get out there and give cannabis a chance. I think it's a performance enhancing drug. It gets me up and moving, you know, gets me doing things I might not be doing. So yes, and thanks again so much for having me here. I love your show, and I hope to be chatting with you again in the future. Absolutely. No, you ain't going nowhere. You're going to be here forever. You're here for the long haul. Now you're part of the family. You understand what's going on. This is what I tell you guys. For Dawn Ann, I'm going to have all the information in the description box down below on how you can contact her. For you vets in Michigan, reach out to Dawn. I guarantee you she can help you. I seen some things she's doing in the garden. It looks delicious. I guarantee you, if it's something that you considering, you're like, I don't know, I want to try it, but I don't know, and you don't know who to talk to, Dawn isn't biased. She's a civilian that isn't biased, dude. She'll tell you, let me show you what it can do. Let me show you how it's helped me as a cancer survivor. You know, there's a blog on my website that is, I call it Cannabis for Dummies, but it's utilizing medical cannabis. And if you're new to it and you're intimidated, it is Cannabis for Dummies. And that I get so many comments about, oh my gosh, I understand cannabis now. I'm not, you know, I'm going to try this, I'm going to try that. So, you know, definitely scroll through there, look, see if you can find it. It's really helpful if you're a newbie. You want to get everybody's feet wet because cannabis is a healing medicine and we want everybody to have a blessing from it, you know? Absolutely. And I love it. I love how you talk like that. It's a healing medicine because it truly is. It honestly is, guys. Like I tell you guys, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you know when you get these great episodes every Friday, right? I get great guests every Friday, man. So I appreciate you guys hanging out with me. Like I said, don't give cannabis a shot. Give CBD a chance. If you got any questions, reach out to me. This crazy ass jarhead. If I don't know,
I got the sponsor right here. She's inside. I'll be like, hey, baby, I got somebody question me. I'm going to hit you up. I'm going to message you guys together so she can get you hooked up. And she gets you linked up, dude. We have great things, stuff to help you through the day with your anxiety, depression, the stuff to help you sleep, stuff to help you bathe, lip balms, lotions, things for arthritis, you name it, we got it, you know, and that's what's great about it, man. Appreciate you guys hanging out with me on this Friday, enjoying the beautiful weather. It's starting to come, fall's getting close, and it's starting to feel nice outside, you know. Thank you, Dawn, for taking time out of your day to hang out with me here on this glorious Friday. Thank you for what you're doing. Continue to fight, because like I said, without people like you, we won't get heard and our freedom gets taken away. We don't need that. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're part of my family now, part of my community. Help your community grow, guys. Remember, guys, here at the Stone Vet, we got your six.
Training, nothing changed by complaining. I adapt and overcome. I make the best out of situations. I stay alert for my enemies trying to do me some harm. I fight for your freedom of speech and your right to bear arms. When I say I got your six, that means I got your back. But what else would you expect coming from the Stone Vet?